And now final lecture for today, I'd like to show you how different institutional frameworks and institutional design of such systems could be. We stopped at this slide with key points for foresight activity in Russia. It generally started around 20 years ago from conception of long-term a7d59b4c development, and then moved to several cycles of foresight 2025 first and then 2030, which was presented to Federal Assembly by President, and foresight 2030 is approved by our government. And then we evolved foresight society. Now in the whole world we face different challenges. I think that today we'll also discuss them a little bit. Challenges concerning methodological issues, challenges concerning application and integration foresight into decision-making process. And move forward, I'd like to show you that this foresight, so again, let's take a look. Now I'll be talking about this foresight. So we spent around 3 years for it, and our initial informational base included around 200 different sources of information. We start from global trends agenda, markets and thematic science and technology areas, then estimated effects for global trends, and ask questions to our experts and to ourselves: will it be challenges or windows of opportunity for Russia? As for markets, we move from market activities to product groups and prospective market niches. As for thematic science and technology areas, we move to priority paths for R&D, research and development, then identify global centers of excellence, and finally assess the level of Russia. You see, it's quite close to what we discussed previously about the logic of national innovation systems. Yeah? Do you remember the slides? I mean, when we go from top to bottom, different interactions, different systems. So that's why, again, when I'm repeating and repeating, systemic approach is extremely powerful instrument for you and for your academic career, political career, business career to understand the whole picture. Who are the players in your system? What are the elements? What are the linkages between them? What are the subsystems, and are they a part of the system as they are? What is the interaction between systems? In military sphere, I'm not going, and I don't like to go inside this, but in military sphere, in intelligence and competitive intelligence, this systemic approach is a basic methodology for everything. Okay? That's why I think that it should and could be interesting for you for all your ideas and so on. And we applied around 10 or maybe a little bit more different instruments within this project. We start from horizon scanning. We've done biometric and pattern analysis, identify wildcarding signals. As for national context, you see we've got two contexts here, like global and national. We provided mapping of stakeholders, in-depth interviews and focus groups with them, and expert panels. And here you can see science and technology areas, which were designed across the priority areas approved by President. ICT, information and communication technologies, life science, biotechnologies, including biotechnologies and medical technologies, new materials, nanotechnologies, energy efficiency, rational use of national resources, and the space, including space discovery and other type of things. So all up-to-date directions that you see here, and to start with projects that was a little challenge for everybody, including us. We applied our database of experts, which again includes around 15,000 different experts. We engaged around 40 Russian regions. It's a lot. And we picked up experts almost from all think tanks, institutions, universities, science and research organizations. So generally, we elaborated a network which included around 2,000 different experts for one project, for all this national project. Yeah, you can imagine how widespread and how massive it is. And moreover, I understood that we cannot deal with all these 2,000 experts and all this massive information alone, so we created so-called pool of experts for those who are not from Russia, but anyway, I think you once saw Matryoshka. Do you know what Matryoshka is? It's a toy playing with when you put small toy and bigger and bigger and bigger. You see what it is, yeah? Yeah, again.
We call it, in Japan we call it,
You have the same, you like a loop, yeah. So we've got this Matryoshka souvenir one. If you go for Arbat or for Nikoyska, etc., you can see a lot of Matryoshkas. But the idea is that there is a lot inside, yes? So different layers. And we applied this idea of Matryoshka to the project. We created a pool of experts with different layers. And that worked. And that was really very interesting organizational idea. Inside the core of this institution, we placed experts who called integrators. That were really high-level experts with high level of foresight, vision. Some of them were members of Academy of Science. Some of them were really world level of expertise persons, members of government commissions, CEO of leading companies, members of high technology regulation commissions, members of industrial work groups and conditions, developers of industrial strategies, and etc. Experts with the highest, not high, but the highest citation index. So that was really a great pool of experts. For each topic, I mean for each of these, I'll go back again. These topics, I mean for ICT, for new materials, etc. So for each topic, I've got around 5-7 persons who call integrators. Okay. Then next layer was experts from 2 blocks of stakeholders, science and government. Okay. For each topic, I've got around 15-20 persons from science and 10-15 persons from business. Okay? And at my third layer, I've got a lot of communicational platforms like industrial and regional associations, technological platforms, regional clusters, universities. I've put a lot of seminars and conferences here, special web portal. We've got a special portal for this, and etc. You see? So it's like layers, layers, and layers. Inside, a core group with 3, 5, 7 persons here for each topic, which generally constructed around 25, 30 people responsible for the whole context within these areas, and around 35, 50 personnel from my side responsible for different elements of activity. I mean, for modeling, for bibliometric analysis, for desk research, and etc. So generally, the core team was around 50, I guess, around closer to 60, 70 persons. That was a core. And then a widespread layers of experts. And that was how it worked. When you've got a core responsible for each topic, each subtopic of all these processes. We use Delphi survey. It's a survey of experts around all these regions, universities, industries, and we also used a lot of other methods of foresight, like scenarios, road mapping activities within all this project. But what I'd like to show you here are the team, people who are engaged in all the processes, are crucial. It's very important. So you cannot do a national foresight with a team of just 5 or 7 very high level persons and then trying to persuade everybody that you've done a plan for them. We've got it in Soviet Union, please do not repeat. In the foresight, it's very important to engage people, engage stakeholders. That's why it's important to have such networking activities with previously and specially identified stakeholders, to have a discussion with them, to argue or not to argue with them, to have some interactions, and etc. You see? That's why national foresights, they took time. It's not a cheap thing, a cheap issue, but it helps you to transform the whole country. Because when you transform the mindset of all these people, all of them are responsible for, or could transform the mindset for dozens or even for thousands of people. So you change those who could change others. Right. That's it. That's it what I'm doing. So you start from the beginning. Right? And we established an international expert network advisory board for foresight. Can do the same. To have some communication, to keep an eye on different methodological issues, and it's always very important. So that's why I really enjoy international conferences or speaking into a cultural audience, because we all have different cultures. It's normal, but we're all human. We're all normal human. We want peace. We want green growth. We want a low level of poverty, and etc. But to hear different aspects, different ideas, what is more interesting for you, what is more interesting for us, to have such level of communication is extremely important. For you to have such different links of foresight perspective, to have different options. Because if you speak always to those who think like you cannot go out of the box, because they're the same. And when I come to the same conference, I hear the same people. They're very respectable, they're great. But, well, after 5 or 7, or even after next visit, I can make a presentation with them, or I can tell the same that they're talking because I know the speech. I remember the speech. And it's not interesting. And when I can hear some new ideas, fresh air, that's good. Always try to have such context. Interdisciplinary, because when I come to other conferences, when, say, not economists but people who are responsible for cultural development, or for ecology, or for mathematics, or physics, when I just, even if I don't understand anything in chemistry, but when I hear how they speak, what are the level of arguments, how they talk to each other, what is important for them. Sometimes when I'm just sitting, just hearing, I can get to some new ideas about my things, what is important for me, because it's from my brain, how my neuroactivity is organized. And the thing is that your neuroactivity is completely the same because we're all human. I mean, we need something out of the box to stimulate our neurons to help us find new solutions, new ideas, etc. It's well known. And in Foresight, we do it like a routine. In Foresight, it is important to have interdisciplinary platform, intercultural platform, inter-regional platform, because I've heard about small speech before break about regions in Russia. But we've got a lot of regions and a lot of culture. I've just returned from Siberia, as you hear, from Tyumeny region. But they have slightly another pronunciation, slightly another type of thinking. Even if you come to a restaurant or to a nightclub, it's a little bit different. That's why it's interesting to have it, like different aspects of the same life, but in one position. That's why if you choose a topic that is interested for you, like a business topic or topic from science, listen to different aspects of this topic, from different conferences, from different business schools ideas, from different stakeholders, from different lectures, and that will help you to get this fully fledged picture. That's what we're doing in the Foresight. We've got a fully fledged picture with all different layers, but if you just hear it without any platform, you don't know how to get a good mosaic from this. It's just like a bag of rocks, but you cannot make a good picture of this. In the Foresight, we plan the scheme of this mosaic, and then we take any part to its specific place. That's the difference. Otherwise, it will be just a bag of rocks. That's it. See? So, here's just a few pictures how we organized our networking activities. So, we'll engage about 2,000 experts from over 200 organizations, over 15 countries. Here are linkages. Of course, we've got quite widespread linkages between St. Petersburg, Moscow, some Siberian centers of excellence, but it doesn't mean that we don't have linkages with other cities and other countries. And here is the idea how we organize the network. So we are in high school economics. We were in a position of coordinator. St. Petersburg is more. University was responsible for information and communication technology. Who was responsible for nanosystems? That's it. That's true. Siberian University was responsible, medical university was responsible for life science. MEFI, it's Energy University, responsible for energy efficiency, energy saving. MIT is Moscow Aviation Technological Institute, responsible for transport and space. And Moscow State University of Lomonosov, responsible for rational use of natural resources. So you see, do you remember these topics? They were from my previous slide. So structure, otherwise a bag of rocks. So the same structure, different layers. Layer of experts, layer of centers, layer of results, layer of methods, but the same structure. It's very important. That comes from systemic approach. The same structure and different layers. And from this point, you can do it, I call it Lego style. You know Lego? Lego. It's from children, Lego. When you can create everything. It's always, you can have Lego. See, do you know Lego? Lego, it's constructor. Do you know? You didn't have children, I see. It's constructor for children when you can construct. It's like toy play. It's toy. Oh, you understand what I mean, yeah? Okay. All right. I call it Lego style, Lego principle. I mean, when you can construct everything from everything, but this everything should be done on the same form. Otherwise, they are not compliable. All right, that's what we're doing in foresight. So when you understand that your blocks are compliable, you can make it like a Lego style, depending on your aim, on your topic, on your budget, on your time constraints, etc., etc., etc. That's it. That's it what is done. So each center there, I mean each university who was responsible for coordination of this topic, created subsystem. So, you know, like in a matrix inside the matrix. So we've got and now inside here. So we've got a general system of key universities, but they're not the chief in the whole topic. They were responsible for creating the next level of system. Next level of system, including all universities. See here, we are coordinator, and here each university, like me, my team, was responsible for creating other centers from science and technology institutes, from business, different departments, research universities and other academics, and etc. So that was like a layer within a layer and another layer. And that's how we moved to 200 organizations and 2,000 experts. Okay? It took us 3 years. So I cannot say that was done, you know, like this. No. But when you start, when you understand the framework, when you understand the institutional design, it's easier to go forward. And I prepared for you a few ideas and a few things how we challenged all these things. So our conceptual framework and major characteristics of foresight network included a few blocks. So that was very important to have access to a pool of high-level experts. Okay. The foresight study should be like an ongoing process. That's what I'm telling on each lecture. So you cannot just do it once and say, right, I've done, let's move forward. No, it's ongoing process. It's very important to have a broad coverage of STI, science, technology, innovation, different objectives, and produce different analytical materials, etc. There should be high visibility. So otherwise, as I asked you previously, today do you know what your Academy of Science is doing? So if they are not in a high visibility, it's their problem, because they should be in a high visibility. Anybody should know what your Academy of Science is doing, what the Foresight Center is doing. And this is a special project or special direction of their work, their ideas, and etc., including disseminations of results. We've done, I mean, in HSC, we even done, we call it University Open to Society. We even done it in Park Gorky, you know, Gorky Park in Moscow. Don't you know Gorky Park? No, Park Gorky. I guess everybody who is from Moscow knows. It's a big park in the center of Moscow, Gorky Park. It's like a playground for everybody. Park Gorky. Don't you know? Gorky Park. Of course, I think you should know. You just take a look. They've got wonderful skiing now and etc. So and skating if you even want. So everything that you want. Well, we've done a project which was called University Open to Society, when we presented like in open lectures in summer. So for several years I've got open lectures when everybody could come and listen to our foresight results and etc. That was our role of dissemination of results. Not inside the university, but inside the park. Right? And sometimes people are coming to me and say, come on, let's drink together for Russia. I said, no, sorry, I'm lecturing.
I think the idea is just to gain more traction. If it's the dissemination is within a particular region, for example, if it's within the university system, you can only get the people around them. But that part is to get every part of the society, the rich, the poor,
Yes.
the middle class.
Yes, correct. For this function, I mean, it's not the only one. And it's very important to know that when you get this whole brand of attraction, you should have some core. I mean, it's not movie, it's not PR company, it's scientific to society. If you don't have what to present, it's better not to start. That's important, because sometimes people invest a lot in all these widespread things, you know, like a movie star, but inside is zero. I mean, no results. From this point, it's better not to start. There's another story, a lot of results, but nobody knows. So you should find the balance. But from this function is just one of several. Exactly. The more the better. Management and openness to new participants. So it shouldn't be closed. Like, you know, it's a closed club of foresight. And unfortunately, we are closed till 2050. We will not take any new member on board. It doesn't work like this. You should be open. But again, there should be clear system of criteria of becoming a member of a club. Otherwise, anybody will come and it will be lowering the value of all these things. So it's normal. So openness, but very transparent, clear system of criteria of entering all these things. Okay? And covering the full range of subject areas and high quality, again, interdisciplinary interaction. Again, it's very important. Interdisciplinary. So don't go through just several things and okay? Right, so we'll move forward. And here are several tasks for such foresight systems that could also be useful for you. We already talked about several of them. Development of long-term national S&T foresight, right? Compilation, updating of national priorities and critical technologies. Development of industry-specific science and technology studies. So you see, science and industry always come together. Business, companies, and science. They should be on balance and interaction. Not only science or only business or only education. And that's the role of the system, to get all these stakeholders together. Science and technology priorities and list of critical technologies. Organization annual monitoring of science and technology development. So each year on annual basis, every year you monitor, every year you produce new materials, every year you put an update. development of roadmaps for sectors of economy, again economy, you see different objects. Science, industry, business, economy, and the system provides interaction with all these things and issues, and preparation of proposals to use the foresight system without a government strategic plans. So integration into government documents. We'll go forward. Coordination and support for foresight activities performed by federal authorities and stakeholders. Creation and maintaining the pool of experts. So we need infrastructure. Okay. Development of communication platforms. Improvement methodology and creation public available database of foresight related materials. So you see, general aims of foresight system is to connect different stakeholders and different areas like science, business, education, society, and this communication should be about the results of foresight, priorities, and the future. Priorities are very important, otherwise you cannot move. If I say you, let's go, you'll ask, let's go there, upstairs, where to go? Where's our priority? But I need to have some vision about where to want to go to set the priority. Otherwise, it will be useless. Because I can say, oh, let's go there. No, let's go there. After that, oh no, I've changed my mind. Let's go there. And then maybe, okay, it's better to stay. That happens every day with a lot of countries, with a lot of money spent, a lot of efforts. Exactly. Why? Because they do not have the vision and answer to the question, where we want to go. What is the vision of our country, say, in 20 years? Our country now is, you're asking the National Bureau of Statistics. Our country now is in terms of GDP, in terms of poverty, in terms of education, in terms of other things, right? It's today, in 20 years, and 15 years, our country wants to be, in terms of GDP, in terms of green economy, in terms of openness and poverty, in terms of innovation activity. All right, so you fix current position, you fix where you want to go, and then you've got a roadmap how to move to it. And on annual basis, you make a check and some update of your vision. Because maybe in 5 years you say, well, I see new opportunity, let's move a little bit to another position. It's normal. It's normal to change your mind if you see that it's better to go there, but it should be on scientific-based platform. That's it. But to make it annual, you should on everyday basis have a working foresight system. You should have people who work on everyday basis on monitoring global trends, understanding new market niches, understanding what black swans or wild cards could be, and etc. on everyday basis. If you have it on everyday basis, you could make it on annual update on very high level. Because it needs time to go step by step from understanding right now to some movement there. So, how we deal with all these things in Russia? We do special law. It's a law for strategic planning. 172. If you could translate it from Russian to English, I strongly recommend you to take a look, because it's one of fundamental documents. What we've got, the law for strategic planning, it was approved in 2014, in June, if I'm not mistaken. And according to this law, we've got three layers of strategic planning. So the first layer is federal, which includes different strategic objectives, priorities for socio-economic development, including science and technology development and addresses to President Russia, forecast of socio-economic development, budget forecast, socio-economic development strategy and strategy of science and technology development, and Russian science and technology foresight. So again, socio-economic development, so economics and society, budget, strategies of development of social sphere and science and technology, and Russian science and technology. Then we move to priority science and technology areas, critical technologies, and state science and technology development program. And then we move from national, from federal level, to sectoral and regional. At sectoral level, we have the same that we have at national level, but for specific areas, like aviation, energy, agriculture. So as we have Russian science and technology foresight here, we do have sectoral science and technology foresight here. As we have priority areas and critical technologies for Russia at national level, we do have sectoral priority and critical technology for industrial level, for sectoral level here. We also have sectoral priorities, sectoral strategies, then programs of companies that I want to state, strategic research programs for technology platforms, roadmaps, and sectoral state programs. So you see, we move from federal, from national level to sectoral with the same functional structure. So national foresight, sectoral foresight. National priorities, sectoral priorities. National roadmaps, sectoral roadmaps. You see? And Lego principle, all right? Construction principle. And this helps you to make it interconnected. Because what technologies are critical for national level, we understand how they influence on industrial and sectoral level. What priorities are important for national level, we understand what could be disaggregated at industrial level. Because gross domestic product, GDP, it also constitutes from some parts produced from stakeholders, households, etc., etc. You see? And the third level is regional level. Because sectors, they are not, they couldn't be created in some desert place. I mean, they should be placed on some land, some region. When I'm talking about development of agriculture, you can say, all right, let's develop agriculture. I mean, the new agriculture, I guess, for your country is one of interesting idea, interesting direction. But the first question will be where? On the south, on the east, on the west, where, in what city? Where? If you cannot answer this question, all other ideas will be useless. I can tell you, let's invest in nanotechnology. Great. Who will be responsible for nanotechnology? Where should I place my budgets, my new laboratories, R&D centers? Where? What is the land, region? Or it should be in some metaverse. It could be, but I want to eat not in metaverse, I want to eat here. That's the point. I'm living in this reality. Of course, I could place some production, some ideas in cyber ecosystem. It's okay. It's an interesting idea about all these things. But anyway, we live here in this reality. So that's why it's very important to place all these priorities, all these ideas on regional level. And regions, again, they could have some development strategies of a region, priorities, programs, etc. So recommend you to take a look at this law, the law of strategic planning, because again it helps you to see how we institutionally designed these 3 layers of strategic planning, the system of strategic planning. And it really works. Because in all country you face national level, in all country you see and you face industrial or sectoral level, in all country you see regional level. So it's typical for all countries. And it helps you to go inside it. Alright? So now we move to the idea how this national system of foresight and strategic planning could look like. We start from some simple part. So this national system of strategic foresight and planning could include interdepartmental commission, again to organize discussion between different ministers. That's why it's called interdepartmental. Priorities for science, technology and innovation based on long-term foresight, as well as national plans and roadmaps by the same area. Improvement of foresight methodology, including combination of quantitative control methods. Next layer is national system of strategic planning infrastructure, including centers of excellence, so people, experts. Network of sectoral foresight centers by different areas. Again, this block, national system, long-term foresight in the center, national plans and priorities, development of methodology and infrastructure. Okay? Let's move forward. We move from national block to sectoral. Bravo, to sectoral. They're all connected. Again, so we can of course, like researchers, we can create everything. But generally they're just some typical logic, like national, sectoral, please. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we do have Minister for Education, for Science and Education. We've got Ministry for Manufacturing. We've got a Ministry for Economic Development, which is responsible for innovations and economic development. We've got several industrial ministers, like Ministry for Agriculture, Ministry for Energy, Ministry for Transport. You know better than me. Who are you? Yeah, bravo. So that's why it's very important to organize all this interconnection between them about the future, about all these things. And we go from this national system to sectoral, which again, here we see long-term national foresight. Here we start from sectoral foresight. Here we do have priorities, national plans. Then, in sectoral foresight, we start from global trend analysis. That's what we are talking about. SWOT analysis, like strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Sectoral future vision, so how sectors could look like sectoral trends, but here we've got national trends, global trends for each sector, specific sectoral trends and prospective markets and products, and new technologies, including their potential for identification, assessment of early development, and different resources. So, you see the logic. National level, national foresight, sectoral level, sectoral foresight. National trends, sectoral trends. National market, sectoral market. National R&D research and development priority, sectoral R&D priority. But the thing is, you see the arrows, that they should be interconnected with each other. Otherwise, one minister will sign up for one foresight, another minister will sign up for another foresight, and then you sit and understand that they are not only connected, but they are about different futures. What should you do? And you'll be responsible for money loss from both ministers. So you've got double jails from one minister and from another minister. Okay? But it's not the end of the story. Let's go forward from sectoral level to priorities. First, priorities. You see here from sectoral foresight, we go for sectoral priorities in critical technologies and sectoral roadmaps and development plans, which should include different system of criteria for priorities, sectoral priorities setting, assessment of potential multiplier effects, assessment of resource, for sectoral roadmaps and development plans, different as well, different layers, final roadmap, and the final picture, yes, it includes level of institutions. In regions, we place institutions. Institutional infrastructure for sectoral system of foresight and planning. So here's the full picture. National, sectoral, and institutional layers, including responsible coordinating minister, personnel, who is responsible. So personal responsibility is extremely important for foresight activities. Otherwise you say, well, it's not my part of responsibility, it's yours. No, it's not mine. There should be personal responsibility for this. Networking, which is also very important. And then we move to dissemination and some institutions. So here's a picture of how, so we go from layer to layer, yeah, of how this could be organized inside the system, all right? And moment I can make it, I'm not sure. Can we make it with less resolution? No? Excuse me? Can we make it? Oh, it's okay to read here. Can you see? Maybe if we a little bit, because I think it's quite hard to read. Can you make less resolution? No? Is it okay for you from okay? All right. No, less resolution. No. Okay. All right. You can see it's okay for you? You can see. All right. So, what I wanted to show you here is that national system could interact with corporate system. You see? What we talked about previously was how to create a foresight system at national, industrial, and regional levels, right? But we forgot about corporations. We've got a lot of companies. Do you remember there's two layers, like internal ecosystem and external ecosystem? So for companies, all we talked previously is external ecosystem. But they do have their internal ecosystem. And as you understand, we should think of how we could at least make some correspondence, some linkages between corporate internal foresight ecosystems and systems with such external systems. Why do we need this? We need this because we rely on corporations, we rely on companies in our country, in all countries. You cannot say that you go to the future without companies. You cannot do it without business, without companies, but what if they plan, they think, they create one type of a future, and you, I say like a government or like university or like researchers, you create another type of a future. You think that you go there to this future, they go for that future. You'll stay on the same place. So that's why it's very important to take on board, to take companies on board when you think about the future, when you talk about the future, and to have correlations and correspondence. The idea of the slide here with national strategic system of planning and corporate system of planning here. Okay, what I'd like to tell you more for today. There are some examples of foresight centers. They are really think tanks in specific countries, so they are real. You can Google them or take a look what they are doing, and I strongly recommend you to keep an eye on that. So these players are very powerful. They produce and they do a lot of different foresight and activities. They are responsible for creation of innovation and foresight and planning activity in not only in the countries that they belong to, but also in the whole world. So that's why I think that this information could be useful for you more, or maybe you'll be working for them in a couple of years, why not? So we'll start from China. In China, key government stakeholders, the Ministry of Science and Technology of People's Republic of China, so-called MOST, again, so you can Google all of them. They have strong correlation and correspondence with CASTED, Chinese Academy of Science and Technology, for development. And they do have a lot of foresight activities like National Principal Technologies of China, Technology Foresight or Priority Industries in China, National Medium and Long-Term Program for Science and Technology Development, etc. So now you see that their foresight till 2050 started not today, even not yesterday, that was lasting and lasting from ages. So they are very wise, with a lot of wisdom. But again, these two organizations are crucial for Chinese development in science and technology. If we move forward, we go for Republic of Korea. There we could distinguish different centers of excellence. There is the National Science and Technology Commission, NSTC, Ministry of Science, ICT and Future Planning. You see they have a Ministry for Future Planning, the whole ministry. MICP, a National Research Foundation, which is responsible for grants, for science, and the rest. As for key centers of excellence, we could name KeyStep. They are our friends and partners of foresight, Korea Institute of Science and Technology Innovation and Planning. And KIRT is Korea Institute of Human Resources and Development. And they also done a lot of different projects like National Technology Roadmap, National Plan, Strategic Initiatives, etc. In Japan, I strongly recommend you to take a look at two organizations, the MEST and MISTEP, MEST, Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. You see the combination? Education, culture, sports, science and technology. Very. Take a look at Japan. They are one of the leading countries. No, maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. Just take a look. It's for you. It's food for your pots. But all of them again are real corporations, real ministers. So I strongly encourage you to have a deep dive there, to see what they're doing. Maybe they have some, they do have a lot of public activities, etc. And instead, National Institute of Science and Technology policy, they believed to be one of the most influential organizations in foresight activity. They created the science and technology basic plan for Japan, Japan's innovation strategy, and etc. etc. So these two organizations are really great. In Brazil, they do have a Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, and Ministry of Development, Industry and Foreign Trade. It's quite close to what we do have in Russia. Our colleagues from CGE, Center for Strategic Studies and Management in Science, Technology and Innovation, they're situated in Rio de Janeiro, so if you're right, or maybe they invite you for some experience exchange, but I don't know. Anyway, they do a lot. I know people from there, and they do a lot of big data analysis and a lot of things. And they created scenarios of Brazilian economy, scenarios about the future Amazon region as well, and other plans. In India, they do have government of India Department of Science and Technology, so it's part of government structure, and technology, information forecasting and assessment council. And now India is moving more and more to foresight activities, including their technology vision for India Republic. And well, a few more. The Netherlands, they are quite strong in corporate foresight centers like TNO, Netherlands Organization for Applied Science Research. I strongly recommend you to see what they're doing in TNO. They also have Ministry of Education, Culture and Science, Foresight Committee of the Royal Netherlands Academy of Arts and Science, and a few other organizations. And United Kingdom, I recommend you to take a look at what University of Manchester is doing. They are also our partners in France. And until a few years I was lecturing in Manchester and the foresight course as well. And they do have a lot of foresight on technology, medicine sector, transport systems, and etc. Okay, so this is a landscape of world's foresight centers and what they do, and I hope that could be useful to you for your future career and other movements and ideas. And finally, let's discuss a little bit what challenges could be for foresight systems in two aspects. Yeah, sure.
I have a question about this foresight stuff. Now, do you have a particular program, or how can one become a foresight analyst, or sorry, a special expert rather, or just doing what you are doing and then incorporating global trends and then becoming global? What exactly you will have to become a foresight expert?
Well, it could be different ways. We've got, in HSC, we've got a program for, it's called Science, Technology, Innovation, Government. So I'm also lecturing there. It lasts for 2 years, for example. It's master program. And after mastering and after graduating from this master program, you've got a diploma for Science, Technology, Innovation, Governance, for example. There we've got the foresight courses generally lasting for around half a year, for example. You also could attend some Coursera courses that there are a lot of internet, led by some professors from the University of Manchester, for example, or others. But generally, I think that it's good to have some understanding why do you need to be an expert in foresight. When you set a goal, it will be easier for you to understand should you take just short course in Coursera in, say, 6 weeks, or or it's better to go for, say, our master program for 2 years, or it's better to have some small courses and then try to do it by yourself and then get back. So I'm always asking, when I face such a question, I'm always asking, why do you need this? So if you need this only like an educational process, it's one story. If you want to launch something, to implement it in the real life, the question is, in what part of real life do you want to implement this? Because generally there are a lot of different courses, including the course of Manchester that lasts for 1 week, for example. That also is very interesting, but this is a course for practitioners, for example. So after you've done something, it's good to attend this course, but until you try to do some foresight by yourself, I will say that it's useless to go there, because you will not understand in depth what we're talking about, because they prepare people who already done a lot of foresights for next level. But education is step-by-step thing. So it's not good when you try. Of course, you can jump up on 2 or even maybe 3, but not for the whole stairs. Okay. All right. So what challenges we face? I distinguish 2 axes, like internal and external, and long-term and short-term. So let's start from say short-term and internal challenges. It's very important to maintain transparent and up-to-date methodology. We always face in foresight activities when another client, another minister comes, he or she wants to do in another manner everything. And it doesn't matter whether you're good or not. They say, I'm a new person, I want everything to be new. And it's inefficient, useless, but nobody listening to you. The only cure is that pure, transparent methodology. I mean, when your methodology is scientifically based, when it's transparent and people could just read and understand what you mean, what you're doing, that helps you to maintain the results and not to start from the beginning again. That's important. Searching for best structure, technology push or market pull. We talked a lot about push and pull, science or market, but in the real life it's balancing. I cannot say go for pull or go for push, balance. Try to find balance. And addressing interdisciplinary areas, again, ICT, information communication technologies and biotechnologies, new materials in transport, ethics in quantum computing, again, so it should be interconnected. If we move from internal and short-term challenges to external, but again, short-term challenges, it's very important to create an efficient platform, to have some balance between experts and policymakers. Because if you have all experts and no one from policy stakeholders, it will be quite hard to manage and solve something. If you have all policy experts, it's quite hard to say that it's scientifically based. Searching and creation actor for the future. So who is responsible in this future? This is extremely important. So just imagine that you've done a foresight for your country. It's very scientifically based, it's great, and you have the vision of your country described. So then ask a question. Who is responsible? Who is maybe not responsible, but who is interested in the vision of your country? Because it could be that some companies will not be interested that your company will move forward, because they already made investment in some traditional sectors, in some technologies, and they don't want to change. So they will try to restrict the transformation. You see? That's why it's very important to understand who will be active, who will be responsible, and who will be interested in transformation. Maybe new companies, new ideas, new policymakers. That's why sometimes we call it technological revolution. But generally, I'm against revolution. I'm for some rapid transformation maybe. And it's important that along with such technological transformation, you will not face social revolution. Because when one part of your country goes rich, because of new technologies, because of new companies, other part goes poor, we know the result. And it's not good. It's not good. So that's why it's very important to find the balance and think with the active for the future. That's why it's very important to disseminate, as you said, to more and more people your ideas about foresight in the future. They should understand that it's not against them. It's for them, for their future, for their prosperity, for their children, for their grandchildren, and etc. etc. Deeper integration into the science and technology agenda, in getting more stakeholders involved, from government, business, society, and education. If we move to internal but long-term challenges, we should maintain knowledge base and including so-called institutional memory, and make our methodology more and more profound with big data analysis, with new methods inside. Foresight is not a single report, okay? It's a process, it's ongoing process. So that's important to make it like a process, to have some creation of trend, not trend extrapolation, and increase visibility, including publication. And finally, if we talk about external long-term challenges, it's deep integration into the decision-making process, addressing society, and maintain up-to-date status, so update foresight regularly. Well, generally that's all that I wanted to tell you as for today. That's it. So I think that our foresight meetings will be helpful for you, not only for exams or other things, but in your real life. Think about topics for our next meeting that will be really interesting for you. Okay? Maybe it's just like an idea, or maybe you'll take a topic like creating or establishing national foresight center. This also could be a topic for your final exam. Why not? It's not worse than green energy or smart city. Just think about it. And you'll got your final presentation like a presentation for your future investor. It's just for thinking about it. Alright? Okay, so well, you could make any group with all of your colleagues, all of your students. Maximum size of a group is about 6-7 people, otherwise it will be a little bit hard for you to work. We'll be working along what we discussed previously. I'll explain all the things, all the tasks in the same day. So all you need is just to think about the topic and people who will be in the group. And then go through understanding what trends will be affecting prepare some ideas about trends and forms that will be affecting the topic. Okay?
I was asking about like